So with the 4 holes that are on the main base of the XYZ trimmer, you can attach it to the optics board. So as you can see, it's in place. So now there's 3 screws, 3 big screws. There's one on top, one over here, and one behind here. So if you turn this screw on the side, it'll dictate the x-axis of the laser over here. So if you want it to move over there, you turn it in one direction, and as you can see, it'll move in small increments of position. And then if you turn it the other direction, it'll move the other way in the x-axis. So this bolt over here, is for the x-axis. If I turn this bolt over here, it'll control the z-axis. So if I turn it this way, the laser is brought closer to me. If I turn it the other way, the laser is brought further away from me. Then there's the final bolt. This will dictate the Y position of the laser. So if I turn it this way, it'll come up, and if I turn it the other way, the laser will go down. So this bolt is for the Y-axis direction. Alright, so here we have the main base of the XYZ trimming platform. So you only need one of this piece to assemble the device. So over here I have these 8 holes, and those holes are used to basically mount the whole device to the optics board. Then I have these 4 holes, and they're used so that you could attach the dovetails in the assembly of the device. Then we have 2 holes over here, and those 2 holes, they're threaded, and they're going to be used to attach a piece on top. That's going to be the bridge. And then there's the threading here that's going to be used to insert the bolts that are going to move the whole device in the X direction, Y direction, or Z direction. And then finally we have these 4 holes that can be used to attach the stage piece to the device. Alright, so here we have the slider piece. So what this is gonna do is basically you're gonna attach the end piece of the bolt into this hole, and then you're gonna close the other half with the stage piece. And then I have these 2 threaded holes that are used to attach the slider with the stage piece, so that the slider, the stage, and the bolt can be one piece altogether. And you need to print 3 of these sliders for the whole device. Alright, so here we have the piece called the stage. So this piece is going to be used as the other half that's going to be connected to the slider, and where you're going to enter the end piece of the bolt in this hole. I have 2 holes over here. Those are used to attach the slider and the stage pieces both together. and then I have these 4 holes that are threaded, and they're going to be used to attach the platform piece connected to this stage piece. And you would need 3 of these stage pieces to create the XYZ trimming platform. So here we have the piece called the bridge. It's going to be attached to the base piece, and so I have these 2 threaded holes that are going to be used to screw this piece and attach it to the base. Then we have this threaded part that's gonna be part of the second half of the piece that's gonna be used to move the bolt in the X direction, Y direction, and Z direction. So the bridge is, you're gonna need 3 of these bridge pieces for the XYZ trimming platform device. Here we have the Dovetail piece. So what this piece does is that it keeps the slider and the stage piece connected to the bolt steadily on the main base. So I have here 2 holes that are threaded, and these 2 holes are used so that the dovetail can be attached to the main base. So in order to build the XYZ trimming platform, you would need 6 of these pieces to so that you could have a dovetail on each side of the slider. Alright, so here we have the piece called the base. So it's basically the same as the main base, but we don't have the flaps on the sides so that we could mount it on the optics board. Alright, so here we have the base stage piece. So it's basically just the base and the stage piece built together so that it's only one piece. The reason for this is because we wanted to make the piece stronger, the device stronger and more stable, and it would avoid also unnecessary screws to attach pieces together. So we have the stage piece here where we would enter the bolt over here. These are the 2 holes to attach the slider with this piece, and basically this piece will be used for the y-axis. So when the main bolt will be put in this threading, it will enable the platform to move up and down. So the final piece for the XYZ trimming platform is the platform piece. So over here we have 4 threaded holes. Those threaded holes are going to be used to attach this platform piece to the stage piece, and then afterwards there are 6 holes that are threaded over here. These holes are going to be used to attach some kind of device, such as either a lens mount or a laser that can be mounted on here, so that the device can move in the X, Y, and Z axis. You only need one of these pieces to build the XYZ trimming platform device. Okay, so first we're gonna grab a bolt This is a 3x8 bolt that's 4 inches. Then we're going to grab a mechanical nut. We could start turning it a bit. Then we could take a wing nut and also turn it and keep these two pieces at the end of the bolt. Then what you can do is you could use some pliers and keep the bolt in place, and then apply some pressure with the wing and nut. So this is going to keep these two nuts in place and it won't move. So now we have the bolt that's going to go into the device, the XYZ trimming platform. So first we could start with a slider piece. So the screws that we're going to use for the slider piece is M3.5 by 20. So we're going to use two of them, one to put here, one to put there. So now we could use the bolt over here and attach it to the slider. Then we could take a stage piece and try and keep the bolt in place. Now what you do is, by keeping this in place, you can now start screwing the pieces together. So now you have this piece that's all connected together. Now what you want to do is take the main base. Once you have the main base, you could put the piece that you attach together on the main base. And what you're going to do is attach the bridge piece to keep everything together. So now what you're going to do is, the bridge piece has two screws that are M3.5 by 20 that are on each side over here. You're going to be attaching that to the main base. So what you're going to do is take the screwdriver, attach the pieces together with the bolt in place, and then screw the pieces together. Alright, so now when you have this piece attached together, what you want to do is add the two dovetails that are over here on each side of the slider. So each of the dovetails have two holes, threaded holes. You can add M3.5 by 20 screws on each side for a total of 4 for 2 dovetails. So now you could place it on each side of the slider. And what you want to do is try and keep everything as stable as possible, and then you can start to attach the dovetails. Alright, so now you have this piece fully attached. So now you can start another piece. You take the bolt again, mechanical nut, winged nut. You start with the mechanical nut, you turn it, use the winged nut, turn it as well. Keep both nuts at the end of the bolt. Grab some pliers, keep the bolt in place. Apply some pressure. So now that should keep both nuts in place. You grab a slider again, slider piece, put the bolt inside. Then you could take a stage piece. Try and keep both these pieces attached and stable. And then you could start attaching the pieces together with the screws. So now you have this piece. This piece you can put it on the side for now. What we're going to do is grab one of the base pieces, and you're going to put this base piece on the main piece like this. And then on the main base there is 4 holes that you could use the screws in. You can then screw it together. The screws are also M3.5 by 20. So now you have the main base and the base that are together. So now what you could do is start putting this side of the bolt onto the base, and you could attach a bridge again to keep all the pieces together. For the bridge, the screws that you use are M3.5 by 20 and M3.5 by 25. So now you could make sure everything is stable, and then you can start to attach the pieces together. Now you have this piece. So now you can start attaching the dovetails on the side. Before that, so here we have the stage and base. So what we want to do is try to connect this piece on top with this stage. So we'll first use this and make the third piece. So now we put the bolt, the nut and the bolt, both of them. Keep it in place. And now you apply pressure. Okay. So now this piece can be connected over here with the base stage, and then we could add a slider to it to keep everything in place. Try to keep it stable, and then use the screws to attach the pieces together. So once that's done, you take this piece, you can connect this piece with the platform piece, like this. So these pieces are going to go together like this, and then this piece will be connected like this. So first we'll attach these two pieces together. The screws are M3.5 by 20. There's 4 of them. So now you're just connecting the platform and the stage piece together. Keep it stable and then attach the pieces. So now this you can attach the base stage and the slider connected to the platform like this, and you could put a bridge piece over here to connect it all into one piece. For the bridge pieces, the screws that are used is M3.5 by 25. Like that. So now to stabilize all of this, we add the 2 dovetails on the side. So one over here and one over here. So the dovetails, they always go on the side of the slider. It'll keep the slider stable. Alright, so now you can attach the dovetails. And the other dovetail. So this is going to be the top piece of the whole device. So now what we want to do is attach this piece together. So we keep it in place like this, and we add the bridge piece. So now you can screw the bridge together with the base. To to attach everything into one piece. So now to keep everything stable, we have the last two dovetails that need to be attached to the base. So we're going to add it to the side of the sliders. So one over here and one over here. So now we just need to screw the pieces together, attach them, and then there's this dovetail. Turn it. And then you screw it together. And then that's how you assemble the XYZ trimming platform.